Namaste. In this session, we will look at the IQR method for capping of outliers. Now, just a few pointers before we start. We should ideally split the dataset into training and testing and then apply the outlier engineering techniques onto only the training set, because we want to keep the test set untouched until the very end. We do not want to see what values the test set has, and we'll want to see how such a model performs on unseen data, which is our test set, which may or may not contain outliers. We do not know whether the new data has outliers or not, and that is what we want to see, whether the outlier engineering techniques that we applied onto the training set, they are valid or not, and whether these techniques will work on the real data set or not. But here we'll assume that the entire data that we have is our train set and that we have a separate testing set waiting for us somewhere else. Okay, so I have imported all the necessary libraries that I'll be needing, and I'll be working with the Fetch California housing dataset, which I've imported from sklearn.datasets. And now I have made an object of this class Fetch California housing into the CA object. I have created the data frame out of it. Okay, so this is my total final data frame, and I'll also drop my latitude and longitude columns. I don't think they are quite predictive in nature, because you see, I cannot say that this value of 37.88 latitude is better than this 37.86 latitude just because this value is 0.02 better than this one, because these two are just pointing to locations on a map, right? So hence I'll be dropping these two columns, and now these are the remaining features. Okay, now just to show you what the plots look like, so these are the plots of different columns. You see, these plots, they look so heavily skewed towards the right. All of these columns are heavily skewed towards the right, and we can also see using the box plot that there are so many outliers in median income column, and there are so many outliers in this average bedrooms also. You see, this upper whisker is somewhere here, and we have a particular block which has a average number of rooms as 140. So we definitely have to handle these outliers, and now we will first use the capping method of IQR to handle these outliers. Now just a small pointer again, the method of using z-scores for capping or trimming is only valid if that particular column is normally distributed, right? And since our data is not normally distributed, hence we should ideally use other techniques, and one of which is this IQR method. So let us get started. First, I will make a copy of the dataset just to keep the original one safe. And since we'll be looking at trimming in the other lecture, I'll just bring this down. Okay, so now first I need to create a function. So I'll say define IQR underscore capping, and it will need 3 arguments. My first is dataset, then next is my list of columns, and the third one is my factor. So what is this factor? Well, this factor is the 1.5 that we choose here. We can choose any number here, 3, 4, 5, but typically we choose 1.5. So now I'll say for each column in this calls list, because this calls is a list and I'll be going through one column at a time. Now first I need to calculate my upper bound, which is 75th percentile, and my lower bound or lower boundary box, which is my 25th percentile. So I'll say my Q1, which is my lower boundary, this will be equal to df of call dot quantile and 0.25. so I'll say a quantile of 0.25, or I say percentile of 25, they both mean the same thing. Similarly, my Q3, this will be my df of call dot quantile, and this will be my 0.75 quantile, which is equivalent to 75th percentile. Now I need to calculate my IQR. So what is my IQR or interquartile range? It is my Q3 minus Q1, right? So my IQR is equal to Q3 minus Q1. Now I need to calculate my upper and lower whiskers, which will determine which points are to be deemed as outliers and which points are to be deemed as normal ones. So my upper whisker, which is simply 1.5 times IQR plus the Q3 value, and my lower whisker is 1.5 times IQR subtracted from this Q1 value. So my upper whisker is equal to my third quantile or the 75th quantile plus the factor times IQR. Okay, and my lower whisker is my Q1 minus the factor times IQR. Okay, so I have my upper and lower whiskers. Now I just need to loop through all the columns one at a time, and find all the row values which have values greater than the upper whisker or lower than this lower whisker, and then do the capping work. So what I'll do is I'll say np.where, and my first argument in this np.where is my condition. So I'll say if this df of column is greater than my upper whisker, then the second argument is my true condition. Then what happens if this condition is true? If this condition is true, I need to replace that value with my upper whisker. Otherwise, the third argument is the false condition. So my false condition, if this condition is false, then I need to do another np.where condition, and I'll say in this np.where as well, I need three arguments. My first argument is the condition. So if df of col is less than my lower whisker, then the second argument is the true condition. True is replace it with the lower whisker. Okay. Otherwise, simply keep that value as it is, because if the value is neither lesser than the lower whisker or greater than the upper whisker, then it means the value lies somewhere in between the lower and upper whiskers, and hence that is a normal data point for us. So I hope this is understandable. Okay, so once I'm done with this, it is time to call this function of iqr underscore capping. So I'll call this here, and now this data frame is my df underscore cap, my list of columns. These are stored in my features list, my factor which is 1.5. Once I do this, oops. Okay, so now I have done my capping, and if I show you graphically what has happened, okay, I just forgot to reassign the column, so I'll just reassign it here. Okay, so once we do this, now if I call this iqr underscore capping, and now if you draw the plots, you'll see the difference. You'll see for the first median income column, before my histogram looked so heavily skewed towards the right, which had a skew of 1.65. Now it has a skew of only 0.74, and also the outliers, they have been handled. At any value greater than, for example, a little bit above 8, they have been capped to 8 value, and you can see the bump here, right? So this is what is happening. All the values are getting accumulated at this maximum value. Now the house age didn't have any outliers before, so this is the same. You see, for the average rooms, it was so heavily skewed, and now it is so much better looking now. It has only a skew of 0.35, before it had a skew of 20. And average bedrooms, the skew was 31, now it is only 0.46, and the box plot also looks very good, and similarly for the other columns as well. So this is how we can use the IQR method for capping the outliers. That would be all for this one, and in the next lecture we'll look at trimming using this IQR method.